February 24th, 3:12 p.m. Wright & Co. Law Offices. I'm so sorry, Mr. Wright. I'm so sorry for what my sister said. Drastic crimes require drastic measures. That's just the way it is. We did what we had to do, in order for him to get the verdict he deserved. I didn't know. I never knew that the SL9 incident was just another name for the Joe Dark killings. Sounds like everyone's heard about these killings but me. Lana wanted Dark convicted so badly. That's why she used me. That's why she used what happened to me. What do you mean, what happened to you? It's all... Excuse me, oh my god. Already starting off with hiccups and burps. It's all there in the file. Joe Dark's last victim was Prosecutor Neil Marshall. When he murdered Officer Marshall's brother, he left behind an incriminating piece of evidence. But what did you have to do with those killings, Emma? On the night Prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered, Joe Dark tried to kill me. What? He tried to kill you? Officer Marshall's brother, Neil, he was only trying to save me. So that means you... Yes. I was a witness in a Joe Dark trial. I didn't see that one coming. We start off on a crazy note here. Hello everybody, Hyper Mario Sunshine here. We're back with some more Ace Attorney. In the last episode, we ended off on such a cliffhanger where Lana Skye reveals why she had to fake evidence. And honestly, yeah, for this case, it seems she had a reason to do, even though if it wasn't in the honorable intention, but it was still in good intentions. The SL9 incident. It happened 2 years ago. It was right about this time of year, too. There was a terrible thunderstorm that day, unusual for the season. I was alone in my sister's office. We were planning to eat dinner together once we finished her work. Then suddenly, this terrifying man came bursting into the office. Joe Dark. It seemed like he was running from someone. He pulled out a knife and screamed at me. I didn't know what was going on. Just then, Prosecutor Marshall showed up. Jake Marshall's brother. Joe Dark tried to take me hostage, but before he could, Mr. Marshall tackled him. Then, what happened? I'll never forget it. Lightning struck, and the lights went out. Suddenly, a bolt of lightning flashed outside the window, lighting up the office for an instant. What I saw then burned a permanent picture in my mind. I can still see it now. A permanent picture? I don't remember the moment when Dark stabbed Mr. Marshall. So you weren't able to testify about that? No, I was only asked about when I was attacked. That must be why why she made up the crime. Made it up? You mean provided bogus evidence? The prosecutor's office wanted that guilty verdict so badly. Lana forged the evidence and Mr. Edgeworth used it. Edgeworth? Yes, but I'm sure he didn't know anything about it. He couldn't have known he was being given false evidence. Even so, that's when it all started. The rumors about Mr. Edgeworth, I mean? It's all my fault. If I could have just testified properly, none of this would have happened. So it's true. Even though he may not have known it, Edgeworth really was involved in falsifying evidence. After that case ended, Lana was never the same. She became cold, like she is today. She must have not been able to face to what she did, especially not to Emma. What did you see in the instant the crime occurred? Dark knocked down Mr. Marshall and raised his knife. Neil Marshall was stabbed right in front of this poor girl. I don't remember what happened after that. Apparently I passed out. When I came to, Lana was cradling me in her arms. Poor Emma. You've been through so much. I couldn't bring myself to testify about that instant. I tried, but the words just wouldn't come out. I drew a picture, but it wasn't any good. 2 years ago. You must have been 14. That's understandable. Once it was all over, I made up my mind. I decided that when I grew up, I'd become a scientific investigator. I want to be able to fight crime with my testimonies. Find the evidence to make an airtight case. That way Lana would never have to forge any. I see. I think I'm finally starting to understand what makes Emma tick. But there's still something that bothers me about that crime. There's something that's puzzling me, Emma. What is it? You said you were in Lana's office at that time, right? That's right. Why then would a serial killer come running in there? Not only that, but he was being chased by a prosecutor? Oh, there's no mystery there. Joe Dark had been taken for questioning that day. Taken in for questioning? You mean by the police? Of course. This happened at the police department. He tried to run away halfway through the interview and fled into my sister's office. But why did he run all the way over to your sister's office? Because the detective offices in the questioning room are right across from the elevator. Across from the elevator? But Lana was the chief prosecutor, wasn't she? No, silly. Didn't I tell you? 2 years ago, Lana was a detective. She was the best in the entire force. What? That's news to me. After the Joe Dark case, she was transferred to the prosecutor's office and made chief prosecutor. Lana used to be a detective? I'd better have another talk with her. So yeah, lots of new updates already. Let's go to the detention center. So yeah, bombshell after bombshell already. Like after this day, just a lot of bombshells. February 24th, detention center, visitors room. Lana, Mr. Wright, it seems I keep causing you trouble. Falsifying evidence. I didn't think you were the type. Criminals don't mind playing foul. Why should we? But Lana, if you're wrong, an innocent person might be found guilty. Believe me, I understand the risks. Lana, Emma told me about you. Oh? About how you were a detective 2 years ago. And how the SL9 incident was the reason you transferred to the prosecutor's office. That's right. Could you fill me in on the details, especially about the unusual change of jobs? I suppose you have a right to know, Mr. Wright. A lot of revelations were uncovered at the trial today, not the least of which was the fact that this case is largely connected to another one 2 years ago. Evidence from that case was stolen as well, though I expected as much. I know how obsessive Officer Marshall can be. That trial, it really wasn't fair, was it? I believed in you, Lana. I believed that no matter what happened, you'd always stick to the truth. It couldn't be helped, Emma. At that trial 2 years ago, I sold my soul. Well, all drama aside, the fact of the matter is, at 5:15 there was no murder at the police department. Tell me it's not true, Lana. What the witness, Miss Starr, said about you stabbing Mr. Goodman with a knife. Lana, I don't understand. Why don't you tell us? Emma, this doesn't involve just me. I don't think I've ever seen Lana look so fazed before. It's true. I was a member of the police force 2 years ago. She was amazing! They still talk about all the cases she and Chief Gant cracked together. Chief Gant? He was the deputy chief of police back then, but he still worked the crime scenes. Damon Gant, He was everything I aspired to be. They were the best team ever. They solved crimes before the reports could even be filed. Emma really idolized her big sister. But now you're chief prosecutor. What happened? I always planned on becoming a prosecutor. The reason I became a detective was to gain experience investigating crime scenes so you could use that experience in court, right? Gant's help in the SL9 case was crucial to its resolution. After that, he became chief of police and arranged my transfer to the prosecutor's office. Maybe we should ask more about this investigation of theirs 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I was second in command of the detectives investigating Dark. Second in command? That means the investigation lead was Damon Gant, right? Yes, Deputy Chief Gant and I shared the same office and the same investigations. They even had the same office. We led a team of the best detectives on the force. Detective Goodman, whose case it was, Jake Marshall, and Angel Starr. It was the first time Marshall worked with his brother. He was quite gung-ho. Without a doubt, Joe Dark was the serial killer. We asked him to come in for questioning. We were desperate for evidence. That was when his final murder took place. When he tried to murder Emma. Prosecutor Marshall was trying to save me from Dark. You see, the first person who happened upon the crime scene was me. How you tell us? Damon Gant and Neil Marshall were the ones questioning Dark that day. The investigation was in its final stages, and Dark must have suddenly panicked. So he waited until Gant and Marshall left their guards down, then fled the room. From there, he ran straight to the office shared by Deputy Chief Gant and myself. That's where he found me. So, you were the first person to run to the scene, Lana? It appears so. I was filing some papers while Gant and Marshall were questioning Dark. When I returned to my office, I saw 3 bodies on the floor and smelled blood. 3 bodies? Prosecutor Marshall's, the victim, Emma, who had passed out, and the suspect Joe Dark. During the struggle, it seems Mr. Marshall struck a final blow before he died. Joe Dark had incurred a minor concussion and laid unconscious. What did you do? To be honest, I panicked. I picked up Emma, carried her out of the room, and just held her. I can't blame her, after all. Her sister must have been gone after all her sister must have gone through. After that, I placed Dark under immediate arrest. Let me get this straight. You were all involved in the SL9 incident? That's right. Quite a coincidence. I don't buy it. What are you saying? There's no way everyone involved in this trial was involved in that incident. Just by chance. But that case was solved 2 years ago. At least one person went to extremes because they didn't believe it was truly solved. Officer Marshall. Yes, his actions came as a surprise to me as well. Ever since his brother died, he's changed completely. I guess he wasn't convicted with the ruling against Joe Dark. Life doesn't end with the closing of the case. Everyone has to live the rest of their lives with their memories. That case just might not be over yet. Emma was assaulted by Dark at the police department, right? Yes, in the office that Damon Gant and I shared. The office that Mr. Gant now occupies by himself. The Chief's office. Maybe we should have a look at the Chief's office. The site of the final SL9 murder. Well, there's only one place to go. Let's see, February 24th, Police Station Criminal Affairs Department. I don't see Detective Gumshoe anywhere. Things seem kind of quiet around here today. You're right. The The chief of detectives seems the same, though. Why don't we look for some other people to talk to? Right. We can come back here later. Alright, so outside of the police station we go instead. February 24th, Police Department entrance. Howdy, Bambina. Oh, Mr. Marshall! I never thought things would turn out this way when I woke up this morning. Que sera. You never know where life will lead you, Bambina? I should have known my luck had run out when old Billy dried up this morning. Billy? Must be his pet cactus. Say, where are you headed? Just over at the prosecutor's office for a little interrogation. It's a little voluntary appearance, but we all know I won't be coming back. Sorry, but you can't go in the evidence room today, partner. But Mr. Marshall, why did you do it? Why do prospectors head west? If ever there was a case I needed to know the truth about, it was that one. Before you turn yourself in, Mr. Marshall, would you mind telling us exactly what happened? Looks like I won't be getting a steak lunch today. Something was fishy about that trial from the beginning. And my cat scratching a cat post. It wasn't just me either. All the detectives thought so. What do you mean fishy? Some of the facts reported were inconsistent with the evidence we found. For example, a murder weapon. Murder weapon? You mean a switchblade knife with the broken tip? That was Joe Dark's alright. But in the initial autopsy report, a question was raised. A question? The blade of the knife was not a perfect match with the wound the victim sustained. What does that mean? It means there is a good chance that knife was not the murder weapon. However, in the report that was finally submitted, that possibility had been erased. Could the facts have been concealed with forged evidence? The case left behind scars on all of us. The scars that the SL9 incident left behind. I got the looks, but he got the brains. He was one of the best prosecutors around. I had just made detective when it went down. It was our first case together. How old was he, your brother? He was 27 at the time. Whoa, what the heck? He just jumped down. He was awarded the highest honor that very day. You mean the highest honor? You mean the King of Prosecutors. I knew it. What are you looking at me like that for? That's an honor for a prosecutor. Mr. Marshall must have been real close with his brother. The day the SL9 incident took place, that wasn't the same day as... That's right. It was the day of the evidence transfer. Interesting. It was drizzling that morning, and by nightfall there was thunder. I can't believe 2 years have gone by already. I tried to steal evidence so the case wouldn't die. Apparently someone tried to stop you. Detective Goodman was murdered, and the evidence locker was empty. And he's on crackhead mode right now. Sorry, that's like the name that we give them for going, like, having the zoomies. There was something going on behind the scenes in that case. We all knew that later. Excuse me, what are you touching? Just walked up. I think you guys might have heard his little footsteps, his little tippy-tappies. Every detective involved in that investigation, save one, was taken care of. Miss Starr was fired, and I was demoted and boxed away in a tiny room. What about Detective Goodman? If they did something to him, too, the commissioners would get suspicious. No, they were careful enough not to be too obvious. Excuse me, why are you playing with my book bag? Yeah, he's on the zoomies. No, they were careful enough not to be too well, I already read that. They? Who are you talking about? Don't get upset, Bambina. I mean Damon Gant and Lana Skye. Investigation Lead Damon Gant and his second-in-command Lana Skye. There wasn't a person on the force who hadn't heard of that duo. That case was the biggest step in both of their careers. After the case ended, Lana transferred to the prosecutor's office, right? Yeah, Damon Gant, the new chief of police, arranged for that to happen. She'd never been the same since she left. Everyone who knew her said so. Chief Prosecutor Skye was totally different when she was a detective. Now that he mentions it, Emma said something like that too. Tell me, what happened to my sister? Sorry, Bambina, but her secret is too well guarded. I never found out. Lana's secret. It all started 2 years ago. So there you have it. That's my story. Did you enjoy it, partner? It was certainly enlightening. There was one thing for sure I found out in court today. That boy Edgeworth isn't my enemy. He was the one who used falsified evidence to get a guilty verdict. But someone else was the one who gave him that evidence and planned everything. And that someone is Damon Gant. Don't believe me? Well, I don't blame you. I won't even be a patrolman after today. Too bad I won't be around to work with you when you become a real scientific investigator. Adios, Bambina. And that is indeed the last time we'll see Officer Marshall. Yeah, he, fortunately for him, he goes to prison. Yeah, he's turning himself in. Yeah, for doing the stuff that he did, yeah, is very much illegal. And he basically, and especially assaulting an officer, could land you a good amount of time in prison. Yeah, I actually did see a video. I will link it down below of how every Ace Attorney... Actually, I'll link it down below after we finish off the case. I could also link it down now and like say that there's spoilers for the end of Chapter 5, but yeah, it basically goes over like each criminal in Ace Attorney 1 and how long their sentence would be. But yeah, let's go to the underground parking lot. February 24th, Prosecutor's Office, underground parking lot. No one's here today, not even the star. Everyone's probably busy looking into what exactly went down in the evidence room. It must have been where the detectives are. But we proved in court today that on the day of the crime, no one was murdered in the evidence room at 5:15 p.m. Yeah, I thought we were finally making some headway in our case. But instead it looks like we just ended up making Lana look even more guilty. Hang in there, Lana. I've got to find all the answers by tomorrow. So we got the High Prosecutor's Office. Let's see if Edgeworth is there. February 24th, High Prosecutor's Office. Room 1202. Mr. Edgeworth isn't here. Maybe he's being questioned by an inquiry committee? He took a real beating today in court. Yeah, with Lana admitting to falsifying evidence 2 years ago, I guess we'll have to come back later. Huh. Is there any... Let's go back to the police department, maybe? I guess not. Criminal Affairs Department? Okay. February 24th, Police Station. Criminal Affairs Department. This place is always pretty empty, but today is deserted. You must mean everyone's busy solving crimes? Oh, if you're looking for the others, they're all in the conference room. Thanks? Wow, he actually talked to us. With the chief prosecutor saying what she did and the decision about what to do about Mr. Edgeworth, not to mention our statement to the media in tomorrow's trial, there's more chaos going on than Thanksgiving and Christmas put together. I think festive is the word usually used for those. Sir, we'd like to have a look at around Chief Gant's office. Just use the connecting hallway to the other building and take the elevator to the top floor. Really? You mean it's okay for us to go in there? I mean, we aren't police officers or anything. Hey, you're right, you can't go in there. It's off limits. Now I see where Detective Gumshoe gets his charm. My unique charm. Well, what are we waiting for? Let's head to the chief's office. Here we go, and it looks grand already. We got a giant organ piano. February 24th, Police Department, Chief's Office. Whoa! Where am I? In the Chief's office, silly. At least that's what it said on the door. Check out that pipe organ. That's real, isn't it? Hey, I used to take organ lessons in kindergarten. They used to call me Little Miss Spock. I thought I was a genius until they tried teaching me notes. I never could remember where C was. Oh, it's you two! Chief Gant! He put that paper he was reading in his desk. So, Righto, have you been swimming lately? No, I haven't. I've been kind of busy lately. I can appreciate that. I've had my hands full too with Miss Marshall's misconduct. And Lana's provocative statement. Provocative statement? Oh, you mean about the forged evidence? 2 years ago have passed since that incident. My, how time flies! See the big picture on the wall there, over there? That's a picture of Lana, Neil, and me. So this was Mr. Marshall's brother? Prosecutor Neil Marshall. We took it to oh my god, I can't speak today. Commemorate our work together. Something's not right with this picture. I can't quite seem to put my finger on it, though. Gant team picture, photo of the award ceremony of Gant and Lana and Neil. Saw the sniffles. Anyway, I'd like to reminisce all day, but there are matters that need my attention. I'm going to lock up here, so let's go out together. Oh, but this office, it was a crime scene 2 years ago, wasn't it? That case has been long since been over. There's no need to investigate anymore. All the same, we'd like to have a look around. Perhaps you didn't hear me. I said there's no need to investigate anymore. Now hurry up and get out. I have a meeting to attend. Looks like we aren't welcome. It seems that the case isn't over yet, after all. What do you mean? Chief Gant denied our request to search the crime scene. That means there must be a reason he doesn't want us looking around in there. You need like a clue? There's gotta be a way we can get inside the chief's office. Let's see if we head back to the Criminal Affairs Department. February 24, Police Station, Criminal Affairs Department. Hey, pal! Detective Gumshoe, aren't you supposed to be in a meeting? I'm, just taking a breather. My feet hurt. I'm sitting so long? Actually, I'm serving everyone coffee. Sounds like Detective Gumshoe's still out of the loop. Say, have any of you seen Edgeworth? Wait, Mr. Edgeworth? Edgeworth? No, why do you ask? He's under fire from both the police department and the prosecutor's office. It's almost like the battle's between you and court. Or you two in court. That sounds serious. Is it because of what my sister said? That's basically what it all boils down to. That falsified evidence 2 years ago. Now Mr. Edgeworth has the whole world after his blood. Yikes. Oh, did not mean to move. Alright, let's see what Gumshoe. Why would Edgeworth be blamed? It's not like he knew the evidence was forged. Lana Skye is the guilty party here, isn't she? Regardless, a prosecutor is responsible for the evidence they present to court. Not only that, but as you know, there have been a lot of rumors going around about Mr. Edgeworth. His amazing talent as a prosecutor kept him safe from those who didn't like him. But now with this... Are there really many people, so many people who hate him? In our world, only those who with talent rise to the top. Mr. Edgeworth not only has that, but he's young. There's no better recipe I know of for making enemies. Hey, Dick, keep up the good work. Yes, sir. Let's go out for lunch again sometime. My treat. Yes, sir. You gotta take me back to that joint sometime, okay, Dick? Yes, sir. It seems like you don't have any problems with the enemies. Yeah, well, I'm careful not to stick out. Anyway, I'm a bit worried about him. Under all this pressure, I'm afraid Mr. Edgeworth just might crack. Actually, I took a look at the file earlier while the coffee was brewing. He seems generally concerned for Edgeworth. Well, did you find anything out? Anything? The only evidence Dark left behind was during his final attack. His final attack? When he killed Prosecutor Marshall, who was trying to protect some girl. Seems Detective Gumshoe never realized Emma was the girl. That's when he left the most incriminating evidence of all. Well, what was it? Oh, let's see. I think he had something to do with the murder weapon. Oh, I forgot. I forget. Look, it's all written somewhere in here, okay? His power of recollection never failed to impress me. Maybe we should show him the murder weapon. It might jog his memory. Joe Dark was 42 at the time of the crime. He was just your run-of-the-mill businessman. A businessman? What made him take to serial killing? One day, on his way home from work, he hit someone with his car. With his car? So it was an accident? An accident, yes, but it transformed him into an animal. An animal? He killed a man that witnessed the accident, then killed a lady who saw the second crime. A kid walked by. Oh my god. A jogger came from the scene and was killed as well. Finally, he turned himself in. He seems he was a pretty careless animal. I missed it. He killed like a kid for seeing it too, for some reason. Also, my other cat wanted to go on me instead of my lap. Seems he was pretty okay, we already read this. Of course, this is all conjecture. It wasn't a single shred of evidence. So he turned himself in? Yes, but in the middle of his questioning, he fled and murdered his final victim. Prosecutor Marshall. That crime was committed by someone too, but luckily Dark was arrested on the spot. It's a good thing that last victim wasn't killed. That last witness, aka Emma. Alright, let's present him that switchblade. About this. Hey, is that... It has a tag attached to it, with the label SL9 incident on it. I believe this would be the broken murder weapon you were speaking of. What are you doing with that? Ever since that case was closed, that knife's been locked away in the locker. What? Excuse me, oh my god, my nose is super stuffy. Makes it really hard to do a voice like Gumshoe's. On the day Detective Goodman was murdered, this suddenly disappeared from the locker. And it was found in Mr. Edgeworth's car muffler. That's it! Now I remember what the incriminating piece of evidence was. When you showed me that knife, it all came back to me. Well, what is it, Detective? Quick, before you forget again. Quick. Oh, wait, we clicked on the wrong thing! No! He's gonna forget. There we go. Mashed away quick enough. This knife, it was Joe Dark's, wasn't it? That's right. We traced it back to the store he bought it at. Plus, it had his fingerprints on it, too. But no one actually witnessed him using it to murder anyone, right? That's where his luck ran out. When you take a good look at that knife, you'll see it's broken. don't have to take a good look to notice it. Yeah, well, anyway. Take a guess where the broken-off tip of the knife was found. That's what did him in. Where was it? The victim, Neil Marshall, was carrying it inside his own body. It was found deep inside the stab wound. Did it... Ugh. Oh my god. Ugh. Did it match Dark's knife? You bet! Down to the last fiber. That's pretty conclusive. Neil's autopsy report. Stabbed in the back. Died from punctured heart and lung. A knife tip was found in the wound. Switchblade knife. The broken tip was found in the victim's body. Belonged to the murderer Joe Dark. Well, there you have it, in a nutshell. That's all I know. Can I ask you one more thing? What is it? If it's money you need, you should ask Chief Gant. It's not money, but it does concern the Chief. His office is a crime scene, right? It's where Prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered. The Chief's out now and his office is locked, but we'd like to have a look around if that's okay. Well, any detective's ID card can unlock the door. What, really? But if I let a civilian in there, I'd be charged with breach of trust. Breach of trust? Simply put, I'd be canned. Oh. Sorry, pal. I don't plan on getting fired because of you. How about this card? It was Detective Goodman's. That won't work either. The data was deleted the other day. He died. Oh. So in other words, Gumshoe's our only chance of getting into that office. I wonder if there's something we could show him that would change his mind. Let's see. Okay, we already read that. About that jar. I think I've seen it somewhere before. Somewhere. Or maybe it was one of those memories people have from their previous lives. This must be the most uninformative detective I've ever met. Something about it makes me feel uneasy. It's like I'm in the Chief's office and he's yelling at me. Chief Gant? Where could I have seen that before? Hey, that's it! Okay, wait. Oh, he already kind of said this. Bloodstain was found in the locker. He was guarding the bloodstain at the... okay. That's more than you could say to most officers nowadays. It would have saved us a lot of trouble if he hadn't guarded it so well. I have to admit, he's right, though. Thanks to the Blue Badge, we were able to prove another possibility today. The possibility that another murder took place prior to 5:15 p.m. Maybe it's a screwdriver, because it was a past case of Edgeworth's. Or not. We're going to have to go through this one by one, aren't we? Nope, it's not that one. You know Officer Marshall? Of course I do. He was like a mentor to me. When I first found out, he was even gave me a small cactus. Really? He said, Dick, she'll listen to all your troubles. Note to self, Detective Gumshoe talks to a cactus. Hard to believe he's just a patrolman now. Someone ought to trade places with him. What? What are you looking at me like that? I've been studying up on these finals. There's nothing wrong with Mr. Edgeworth's presentation. To think that people accusing him of injustice. For one, I ain't buying it, pal. You're looking into the case for Mr. Edgeworth? Yeah, it was a pretty big deal while it was going on, would you know? After all, a serial killer was on the loose. Lana was pretty clear it was in her confession. She forged evidence in order to prove Joe Dark guilty. Found it in Mr. Edgeworth's car, stabbed in Mr. Edgeworth's knife, huh? What would drive Chief Prosecutor Skye to do such a thing? Well, wait, I didn't mean for sure. I mean, we already kind of read this too. Huh. I really hope it's not another, like thing we have to find first before we talk to him about it. That's not that. Not that. We did that. We did that. That. Did that one. Okay, already did those two. That's such a cool ring to it. The way I see things, if they're meant to be lost, then they're meant to be lost. There's some higher power at work here. Wow, a higher power. Maybe I shouldn't let Lana hold any evidence. He did what? All I had to do was some flour. Are you okay, detective? Quick, run! Achoo! If it's any help, one time I took a nap on the bench with wet paint. Am I not comforted? Thanks to the ID card, isn't it? Yes, there's only one number left to investigate. At 4:20 p.m., Detective Goodman must have entered the evidence room alongside with someone else. Someone with an executive officer number. 777777777. That's 17 too many, Detective. An executive order. That might have a launch. Well, I just might have a hunch. Wow, okay, wait. Okay, switchblade knife. Already showed that. Okay, about the star. No. Damn, what the hell? Got no clue what to say. Oh, here we go. We just need to return back to the prosecutor's office. February 24th, High Prosecutor's Office, room 12:02 p.m. Wonder if Edgeworth's back yet. There he is. It looks like he's writing something. What? What are you doing here? He sure was quick to throw that paper on the floor. Tough day in court, huh? I've had to live the past 2 years with rumors flying around. What's another allegation to me? Cheer up, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm rooting for you. That's Edgeworth for you. Always tried to hide his real feelings. So, what do you want? What do you want? Unlike some people I don't have all day. Alright, forged evidence, tomorrow's trial, and the crime of today. Wait, 2 years ago, I used used false evidence to obtain a guilty verdict. That's what it all breaks down to, and nothing I do can erase that fact. But you didn't know, did you? I mean, the evidence was falsified. The police department and the prosecutor's office share a bond of trust. If that bond is broken, we stand to lose everything. The police department's error, in my opinion, my responsibility as the prosecutor in charge. In fact, that fact remains the same no matter what excuses I might have. Mr. Edgeworth, I take pride in my work. So tell me why. Why has it all come to this? Even Edgeworth can't keep this kind of emotion bottled up. Are you up for the trial tomorrow? First the last year's trial, and now this one. It seems all you do is worry about me. To be honest, you're getting on my nerves. But Mr. Edgeworth, you can't just walk out on the trial. Tomorrow is the last day. It's too late to change prosecutors. I'll bet that's what my superiors are banking on. I never thought that the case would come back to haunt me like this. What do you mean? The list of evidence, it seems too short. Most lists run twice as long. The only half as long as most lists? That is odd. After Neil Marshall was murdered, I became prosecutor for that case. I may not have been part of the investigation, but I knew what I had to do. Use the evidence I was given to prove the suspect guilty. That was really the only thing on my mind at the time. Sadly, we just saw a picture taken around that time. The picture, something seemed strange about it. Could you tell us again about what happened that day? The day where Detective Goodman was murdered? And you were participating in a ceremony over at the station, right? I've never cared for ceremonies, but I had to attend that one. Because you were awarded this? Those receiving awards can't exactly skip out on the ceremony. I finished up in the office in the morning, then drove over to the police department. You finished up at the office? Yes, just odds and ends, clerical stuff. But I didn't plan on returning to the office that day. That is, until I was asked to take something back. But, so take something back? This. Oh yeah, Chief Gant asked you to hold on to that, didn't he? Yes, it was a piece of evidence in a case that was closed half a year ago. He asked me to bring it in back to the prosecutor's office. That was yesterday's story. We hadn't heard yesterday. So, did you come back here to the prosecutor's office because the chief asked you to? That's right. Alright, so I think we're going to end off here. We got a lot of information, a lot done, especially with Gumshoe and now Edgeworth. It seems that Gant does not want us inside his office because it is a potential crime scene. He seems to be wanting us to stay away from there. So, next time on Ace Attorney, we will be trying to see if we could get access to Gant's office and see if we can get Gumshoe to join with us. So, love my videos, hit the like button, make sure to subscribe to my channel, appreciate it. We'll see you guys then.